Hello, everyone, and welcome to Storypath Showcase. This week we are returning for Trinity Continuum Æon. When last we met our adventurers, they were in a cargo bay, I believe?
We were in a hallway just outside the med bay.
Right, and you had discovered that at least one of the crew members had been compromised by aberrants. Had infected the ship with some sort of terrible aberrant corruption, which seems to be eating the Tesser. Not great. And saying something about someone coming, I believe, was the last thing that they said, right? That there was something on the way.
Yeah.
Very ominous, not great. Before we dive too far into things, I do just want to touch base and remind everyone that you do have the option to make tweaks to your character. If you had any skills that you wanted to move one dot from one skill to another skill, you may do so. You just need to mark that skill and make sure that you use it this session. Same goes for attributes. You can do one of those. And then if you have not replaced any aspirations that were fulfilled, you should do that beforehand. You may also swap out a short-term aspiration if you so choose. So if you're looking at your short-term aspirations, you're like, these don't really fit anymore, you can swap one out. Does anybody have any tweaks they would like to make?
I'm going to be changing short-term aspiration.
Okay.
The second one, which is establish a cover for myself, really doesn't apply with what we're doing here.
That is true.
I'm keeping my first one, which is trying to establish contact with my patron who's on board somewhere. So I'll change my second aspiration to, let's see here. I'm trying to remember a name, trying to see the name. Kento is Scott's character, correct?
No.
Oh.
Nope. Kento's Hiromi's.
Kento's my character.
Okay.
You don't know that name.
No. Scott, what's your character's name again?
Finn Wukong.
Finn. Okay. So I'm changing my other short-term aspiration to gaining Finn's trust.
Beautiful.
Not impossible.
I love it. All right. Any other?
I'm going to change the one I already fulfilled to saving someone's life.
Okay. I could see that easily being a concern or a thing this session. I'm
not to continue to bog us down, but I'm gonna.
No, there is no bog here. Go for it. This is what we're here for.
So last session I had the short-term aspiration to encounter something alien, and it almost grabbed my face. So I definitely encountered it. Mission accomplished. And since I failed at spacing the alien, that's my aspiration now, spacing a foe.
Excellent. I love it.
I'm also going to swap out an aspiration. I think we're not in the mood for any hippy dippy introspection. So I'm going to switch out my ISA for philosophy one to I'm trying to think of a good way to word this. Basically, like surviving this ordeal, or
Sure. You can even put like surviving contact with the aberrant. Or surviving the ordeal would be good.
I'll go with safely getting everyone off the ship.
Okay.
Because that's the other one is kind of
safely is an important word in there.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty
of
ways.
So is everyone.
Apparently, I've been way too conservative with my sight points. I just looked up how quickly I get them back. It's pretty fast.
Yep.
Yeah.
What is it, like every session or something?
No, faster. A character regains her sight rate in points every 10 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah.
So just blow them.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, there's no reason to hang on to him from scene to scene. Like you'll have him by the next. You'll get him back by the next scene, or
All right. Well, a lot of people are going to get teleported places now.
Excellent. That's what I love to hear. Okay, so now, correct me if I'm wrong. You were just leaving the area that you had secured after killing Andreas Kochetsky.
Mm-hmm.
And making your way as a group to the med bay. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Beautiful. So as you're walking through the ship's hallways, you can start to feel almost like the pulse. It's almost like a throb, like in the base of your brain at like a frequency that's either just too high or just too low for you to hear. That kind of feeling of the corruption sort of seeping its way through the Tessera itself. And I believe it's Grunge who has... No, it's Finn who has the mind share, correct?
Yes. I still have the side point committed to it, so the network should be still up.
Your network's still up, and you have, correct me if I'm wrong, but you can sense basic emotions with that, correct?
With the network, let me double check.
Not the network itself. I'm sorry, with your base abilities from Mindshare.
Let me double check and see if see what the limits of that power is. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, please do look that up. As he's looking that up, the rest of you do see that apart from places where the hull has bent and support structures have sort of crumpled a little bit, about 2/3 of the electronics that you're walking past are still powered. You would estimate probably conservatively, if you had a skeleton crew, if it was just you all, you could probably get your vacuum speed engines back up within 6 to 8 hours.
The powers that I have for that, mind scan allows me to sense the presence of minds.
Okay.
And mind speak is the other basic technique, which allows like point-to-point telepathic communication thought-wise. So I do not have an ability to sense emotions.
Okay. You do, however, sense that you are surrounded entirely by a consciousness.
Yeah. I mean, is that new or does I was under the impression that Tessera are kind of baseline conscious regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah. More than baseline.
Okay.
Yeah. They are conscious, thinking, feeling beings. Some of them are even able to communicate with their crew through the computer or through telepathy.
I mean, we're on the way to the med bay, but I could attempt to contact the ship directly. I don't think we have time for me to sit down and, vibe with the ship for a bit.
Okay. So yeah, you all continue moving on, aware that it's feeling something, but not quite sure what it is. You arrive at the doors to the med bay. They're closed, sealed. What would you like to do?
What do you mean sealed? Like they're locked, or just this is how they're normally closed?
Yeah, they don't appear to be opening automatically at your arrival, which is what you would expect.
Is there like a panel, like a control panel or something like that to interface with?
There's a definite emergency interface right next to the door.
Can I look into it and try and see why the door isn't opening?
Yeah. Do you want to? Are you using anything psionically, or are you just using the technology?
Just my smarts.
Oh yeah, just give me a tech, and then what attribute do you feel would probably be best for that?
I would guess intellect.
Okay. Intellect works.
Let's see if I remember how to do this again. I know it's been 2 weeks since you rolled anything.
Yeah. So you click on the skill's name, and then you click on the attribute's name, and you might have to right click on them and send to chat. Otherwise, double clicking should send it through.
Yeah, double click them each.
I believe so. If one click doesn't send it, try a double click.
While Cheche's doing that, I'm gonna hack the data pad that I swiped earlier because
Excellent.
I feel like I can probably get access to places if I convince it that I'm supposed to be here.
Beautiful. Are you using technology as well, or are you relying on anything psionic?
Nothing psionic. Larceny gave me the impression that I could use it for this kind of thing.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Larceny is totally fine, totally acceptable. And this is the perfect time for me to just point out real quick for the audience at home and for the players, because somebody mentioned this in the comments of one of the videos before. Rules is written in the Trinity Continuum. The player chooses their skill and their attribute. The reason that I run on this show where I give you a skill is so that players who are not new to the system don't have to try to figure out what skill works best for every scenario. So if you have an alternate skill to suggest at any time, feel free to do so. Sound good?
Yeah.
And also just for the audience at home, the book is right. I just run it this way for everyone's to make it as easy as possible on people who haven't played a bunch of Storypath. Continue. I'm sorry.
And I figured cunning is probably the thing for hacking. And honestly, most of what Ken told us.
Yeah, go for it.
That's not a ton of successes, but it's a success.
A success is better than no successes. You do get access to the data pad. Cheche, when you're getting in there, you see that the wires themselves have actually been like heat fused. You're pretty sure, though, that this is based on, I don't recall if we established whether you'd ever been on a Leviathan jump before. But if you haven't, based on everything you've read, this is a quirk that can happen just from the jump. This may not be a deliberate sabotage thing. It looks like the panel itself like either got too much juice through it or just flat overheated.
This something that looks fixable?
Yeah, you can
with my handy tool.
Yeah, you can absolutely get in there and use your handy tool, literally, and just like basically hot wire the door.
All right. Well,
and with the
Cheche kind of like crouches down and like opens up the panels and stuff and like starts fiddling with the wires and like gets out his stuff and just starts going to town. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
I will myself and I will have my fellow Legionnaires basically set up a firing position for when the doors open, and, in case some baddie jumps out at us.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'll take up position with them too.
Excellent. You get in there, snip it, pop the wires together. You hear the hiss of the seal opening as the doors split wide. Right about that time is when Kento gets into the data pad. Now, this data pad was the one that you had gotten from the bridge, correct?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you get it unlocked and get it turned on, you see a face. It's very low poly computer generated face. If you think almost like a Lawnmower Man film era CG.
Max headroom.
That's actually an upgrade from what I was immediately picturing. I was immediately picturing the Master Control program from the Dawn.
That's not quite.
Like, Lawnmower Man is like 10 times as many fucking vertices.
Yeah. So, but it's face with smooth features. The eyes are glowing blue, but you see like almost like lightning bolts of black spitting through them. And it says, can you hear me?
Yes.
As you're answering, the door is open. And as the door is open, you see this in front of you. It says, "Oh, thank you so much. I thought I'd lost the entire crew."
That's gross. I think that's actually in character.
Yeah, there's just some blinking.
Everything is.
I hope the stream can see this.
Oh yes, they can absolutely. Everything is kind of undulating at slightly different frequencies, and there's a bit of a like fist in a mayonnaise jar kind of sound accompanying these movements.
Oh
no! Very.
Oh, I can hear it. I can hear it.
Look, we fucking asked for cosmic horror on this one.
This
is literally our
specific.
fault.
So are those big blobs on top of like where the beds were, or
right? You're pretty sure if you look, there's sort of a somewhat technical looking base to those. That would be where the beds should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like how like biotech looks pretty weird. So like, how normal is this?
I mean, it's honestly, this doesn't look too far afield from things that you've seen before. The biggest things that you find off-putting about it are the noise and the sort of arrhythmic movement. Looks very unusual.
Are those creatures there
that are sort of floating about in it? They appear to be almost like extensions that have grown out, like pseudopods that have grown out from the pods.
Thus replacing whoever was laying on those beds.
Quite possibly.
Mm.
Meanwhile, the data pad in your head says, "I thought I'd lost the whole crew."
There's still some of us. Who's this?
I am Chicago.
This is audible, correct?
Yes.
Oh.
I think something's very wrong.
Yep.
I would agree with that.
You're not wrong.
I feel feverish.
Is there any place in particular that you're more feverish in?
I like point.
It's it's hard. It's like
Chicago. You got something right here.
Oh, thank you. It's like it's pulsing through my whole body, and there are parts. Definitely, the medical bay is not right. There's something very bad happening there.
Would you like to see the medical bay?
Oh,
because you're right. It's not good.
Do you have visual?
Yeah.
Chicago says, "Well, what is that? Is that aberrants?"
It sure don't feel right. Grunge, if there's any way you can feel this thing out, I would highly appreciate it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Is there any sort of reading I can get off of those pods with subquantum sense?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and roll that.
And that is psi plus mode.
Psi plus my highest mode, because it's one of the basics.
Correct.
Okay. So
I believe I had previously sensed the presence of a vitikinetic in this med bay, like probably sealed away in one of those pods. Can I identify which pod might be that mode of psi?
Yeah, so if this is just kind of like the view that you're seeing looking in the door, it's this one back here, all the way in the back there.
it looks like I have one success.
Beautiful. One is good. All right, so you sense all active psi powers within your attunement range. You know the aptitude mode and dot rating of the power of the location. Also works against aberrant powers, though you only learn the general type of power and the aberrant's archetype and location. So here's the three pieces of information that you gained from that one success. You automatically filter out the powers that your friends are using because you're aware of them.
Mm-hmm.
You sense that there is definitely a corrupting. Each of these pods is effectively infecting the person inside the pod and the ship itself with corruption. It's got basically two sets of organs that are pumping corruption out. One is going to whatever's inside the pod. One is going down into the actual structure of the tesseract itself. You sense there is a subaberrant mutant in that room with you, hidden behind one of those pods.
Awesome. Everybody heads up. There's something else in here behind one of the pods.
And you sense, you're not 100% sure because you are dealing with some interference from the corruption that's already in the tesser, but you think you sense a Terrat level aberrant approaching from outside the ship at about 50,000 kilometers. Terrat being the highest threat rating that you have.
Well, shit.
Yeah, and there's something in the room right over there, and I don't know if you trust, but something's coming from outside the ship, out in space.
Yeah.
And
okay.
related to those pods, same type of
shit. Well.
Yeah.
Okay. I think our top priority, and I'll indicate where I feel where the vitikinetic is. Obviously, if there's a sub-aberrant in here, we have to deal with that. We have to rescue the vitikinetic because if there's any chance of putting an end to this, then it's gonna be we need the power of vitikinesis.
You hear from
stymie this shit
deep inside the room.
All right. Well, you've just volunteered to die.
Yeah.
The moment says Finn says we have to rescue someone, I just start like building up like the armor shells over my skin.
Excellent. Go ahead and roll, and that's your psi plus your mode for the transmogrify. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
I will also activate alertness.
Do I need to roll a success for spatial sense to work? That's my basic.
I believe you need to hit a success to get any useful information from it.
Well, then I don't get any useful information.
A note, for all psi powers, you can burn psi points to get automatic successes after on the roll.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have at it.
Then I'll do that so that I can pinpoint that giggling thing.
All right. Yeah, you absolutely see she's crouched down, hidden behind the pod that's directly in front of the vitikinetic.
All right. We've got to take it out. We can't risk hitting the vitikinetic. So check your shots.
Yeah. Let's see if I can fulfill an aspiration.
All right. Give me a half a second here. How many successes did you get on your biokinesis roll, James?
It's 8 and above success, or what
7.
number?
Oh, sorry.
7.
8. You're sorry.
8 and above, yeah.
It's 8. I got 8, but I also have the whatever you call it, the favored mode. So I think it gives me an extra 2, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I said I got 8. I got 1 plus the extra 2.
Right. Yep.
I got an 8.
And then you also do get a certain amount of tags that you can add just for having the power.
Just for having the power?
Yeah, like so just for successfully activating it, you get let's see. 1 second. They all have the melee tag. You can add your mode dots plus successes in tags to use to create the armor and weapons. So your transmogrify is a 3.
Yes.
And you got 3 successes, so that's 6 tags. So you could add like, if you wanted to do the reach, entangle, weighted again, you could do that.
Yeah. Oh, wait. I was doing armor.
Oh, you're doing armor? Okay.
Yeah.
You can add the complete tag for 3, and then you can buy a hard and 2 softs if you just want to go straight armor.
Yeah, I'll do it that way.
Okay, cool. And then you'd just be using whatever normal weapons you're carrying. All right, yeah. So it'll defend against basically any type of attack. You'll get 1 extra health level as the hard, and then the soft adds a +2 to the difficulty to inflict injuries to you.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, we had a couple of people that were talking simultaneously. I want to make sure I got James's stuff sorted. You had activated spatial sense, found where she was. You were activating for Grunge was activating what? The awareness? Is that right?
Yeah. I already said we already discussed that.
Oh, right. Okay. And then what was Finn activating?
I was just activating awareness.
Okay.
It's the super awareness.
Okay. Cool.
If you're ready for another round of actions, I got one.
Yes. Are you going to be attacking?
Yes.
Yeah.
She is very much aware of your presence, so this will be just a straight up initiative roll. And your awareness grants you what?
It basically adds a crap ton of dust to my defense.
Okay, it does not grant you anything with initiative then. Right?
It doesn't grant me anything with initiative, but it does give me basic danger sense.
Okay. You're in danger.
Oh yeah, I know.
Your danger sense says, Molly, you in danger, girl.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Everyone has rolled and is present. Yes, are we missing one? We're missing one.
I think that's everyone.
Oh, wait,
Oh.
no, you're missing me.
Still a ton. Damn.
There we go. Sorry about that.
No worries. All right. So she goes first. She steps around and you see that she's pulled her eyes out of her skull as near as you can tell with her bare hands and is holding them in one hand at you. They're still loosely connected by a soup that you think may have some optic nerves in it to her face. And she just holds like a flechette pistol at the pointed at the pod that holds the Vitakinetic.
Mm.
And she is going to reserve her action and just chuckle as she looks at you.
I'm gonna laugh too. Well, no, me personally, not Kento.
The next in your ticks is Grunge. Grunge, do you want to go, or do you want to let somebody else take that tick?
I'm going to take that tick. I've got my laser aimed at her. I'm itching to shoot, but I'm not wanting to be the one responsible for that Vitakinetic getting plugged. So I'm waiting. I want to shoot, but I'm waiting.
All right. Finn.
I will, through the mind link, I'll basically, what do we know your character by, Hiromi? What was it?
Sokka.
Sokka, can you show this woman the door?
Probably. There's enough risk of failure that I have an alternate solution, which involves making her shoot herself in the back.
Who I like.
Which one do you want to pull? Which one do you want to try and pull off?
Making her shoot herself.
All right, I'm going to provoke her then, and I will. I will fire. I will attempt to shoot her.
All right. Just using like a standard old weapon, right?
Yep, just a standard laser blast or flechette blast.
All right.
I would like to spend a momentum to use my skill trick to essentially say for this combat maneuver, which is me firing a distraction shot and Sokka pulling off their teleportation, be a combat maneuver, which gives us target number 7.
I have no objection to that as long as the players have no objection to that.
I like it.
Go for it.
All right.
All right. Let's do it.
Okay, well then let me roll my dice.
All right. So we'll double check that. That's actually 2 successes. No, it's actually 1 success. And now we have 1, 2, 3. So total of 4.
4. Well, I do have a 10, so I think I'll re-roll that.
The 10 should re-roll.
Does it?
1, 2, 3. Yeah, the 10 auto re-rolled. You got a 9.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep. So you got 4 total, which is exactly her defense. But you're not trying to injure her. You're trying to distract her, right?
I mean, I'll shoot her if I can.
Okay.
I have a 4 enhancement on my gun there.
Okay.
I'll, if I overcome whatever armor, I'll definitely try and do a damage on her. But the intent is to provoke her into firing so that Sokka can do her.
You would have enough to do 1 health level worth of damage and then still have 3 successes left over to buy stunts with. So
then I will do the enhanced stunt, which basically throws up enhancement to the team.
Okay, excellent. So then that will go into Sokka/Kento's turn.
Does that difficulty change the rolling 7s?
That applies to
this action also, or not?
Yeah,
Yes.
you have target number 7 right now.
Cool. Am I next in initiative?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Well, does that provoke her into firing?
Yes, it does. Excellent. So you still only got the 1 success.
It's my favorite mode. So an automatic 2
enhancement of 2.
So it's 3.
Excellent. And she spends a point of corruption to give you a complication of 2. So,
and I did see a 7 in there, so that would have been.
You may. Where was that? Oh, the 7's in hers, I believe, right? Yep.
Oh yeah. Never mind then.
So let's see how this complication plays out. All right. Failure to buy off this complication. It's a complication of 2. On any psi power that targets her, causes the power to slide off the aberrant onto another victim present in the scene instead. So.
Oh. I'm not targeting her.
Right.
Okay. No, it's totally reasonable thing for her to do.
Well,
Yeah.
you do have that 3 enhancement that you can apply to try and buy off the complication, but
Yeah, I wouldn't. risk it. I mean, it's not actually targeting her. It's targeting the gun. It's targeting
fair enough.
the space in front of the gun, actually.
Works for me.
So yeah, you pull it off.
Yeah. So there's a portal in front of her gun's muzzle, or more properly, protecting the vitakinetic, and then the output of it is right at her back.
Excellent. So she will suffer
Roll those damage.
greatly. Well, I mean, she got 2 successes, and that gun offers 1 enhancement. So that's 3. That's enough. She'll take an injury condition. She's not quite taken out, but she's definitely taken aback. She spits out some blood. Cheche, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Earlier, when Grunge sensed the different organs that were inside the things, was that something we could all sense in the mind link, or no?
If Grunge shared that information with you, then then you'd be aware of it. Yeah.
Okay, with my biosense, can I know it's mostly just for like recognizing when living things are around, but can I like sense where like those organs are?
Yeah, like you can tell where like one life form starts and another life form stops with biosense for sure.
Okay. What I'd like to do is, one, I'd like to move now that this opportunity's been created, in between where she is and the vitakinetic is, like bodily place myself between them.
Okay.
But also I'd like to I guess, transform my arm into a blade and reach in and try and destroy that organ that's corrupting the vitakinetic.
Okay. Excellent. So you can go ahead and so in order to shift out a weapon, you would need to spend another psi and make another transmogrify roll.
Okay.
Which is fine. You can do that while you're moving. You can move. It's only a range band to get to where they are, so that's fine. And then, yeah, we just look at. Okay, so that's still 2 successes.
Plus 2, right?
Plus 3 for your, because you have transmogrify 3, right?
Oh yeah, right. I was thinking plus 2 for my thing.
And the 2 enhancement, right. So you've got, you can buy like a total of like 6 tags. So you could put like brutal, heavy, if you wanted to on this weapon to make it like super effective.
Yeah, let me get
the list of weapon tags you can choose is
brutal, deadly, piercing.
Okay.
And reach.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you go forward and lance with it. So go ahead and make your, well, you also have enough to add quality 3 to it if you want to, which will give you a plus 2 enhancement. So go ahead and make a close combat roll, and then whatever attribute you feel is probably most appropriate for this. And you apply 2 enhancements for that as well. Nice. Okay, so yeah, you reach in and just stab straight through that. When you do that, all of the pods start to like squeal and like shiver. She lets out a horrendous scream and like reflexively crushes her own eyeballs.
Filthy.
And
sounds like a personal problem.
This ichor starts to leak out of the hole where you've pierced this thing down towards your feet. And you can see that the ichor is like steaming. Mm-hmm. So far, it doesn't seem to have any negative effect on you.
Grunge, you were holding an action, I thought.
For ichor?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gonna pop a shiny in her while she's not looking.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes, absolutely.
I guess she's not looking much of anywhere anymore,
No.
huh?
So there's that. Something didn't work right. Ooh. And then that.
Beautiful.
Okay.
And what's the enhancement on your weapon?
1.
Okay, so that's 2 successes. Her defense is effectively 0 right now. So that is enough to take her out. By what fashion would you like to do so?
She's already squished her eyeballs. Basically, she just, slips in all of the goo from her own eyeballs, and maybe, some of the drippy off of all of these other little cocoons. She just literally falls on the floor.
Excellent. So she stumbles and trying to get out of the way of your blast, fails, falls forward and lands on this cocoon that's in front. And the cocoon basically just pops, ejecting the crew member that was inside of it. They hit the deck and start screaming. As you see boils starting to rise up in their flesh, and just a general bad scene. They look like they're having some sort of very adverse reaction, possibly to the air outside of the cocoon.
Well, that's not good.
Shit.
So, so releasing any of these other people actually causes them harm too.
You can tell with your subquantum sense that they are not. What they're suffering from is closer to a corruption illness right now than an actual mutation.
Okay.
So, shit. We need to. Who is this crew member, by the way? I want to be able to refer to them appropriately.
They're wearing a red shirt.
Oh, fantastic. Are you talking about the Vitakinetic or the?
It is not the Vitakinetic.
Oh, it's not the Vitakinetic.
It looks like a technician.
Okay, fantastic. Well, then priorities are still the same. We need to get that Vitakinetic out of there.
No, closest one to the Vitakinetic at the moment is Checha. So, do you want to try to open this thing up the rest of the way for the VK to try to come out?
Yeah. Well,
you're the one who's close to it, Checha.
Me? Yeah, no, of course, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
You slice this sucker open, and they drop out. And again, it's almost like that scene in The Abyss when he comes out from being underwater and he coughs up that pink shit for 2 minutes. He's coughing up this black ichor, and just breathing in deep and just coughing up more black ichor. But you don't see any boils or any signs of trauma.
I just reach down. I guess I don't have hands right now, so
you have one hand. You only turn one arm.
Okay, I reach down with my hand and help him to his feet and say I know you're in bad shape, but it's time to get to work right now.
He puts his hands out in front of him he's just blindly using Vitakinesis. He starts coughing and spending psi. That's what he's basically doing. He manages to cough out. Get me to the hurt person.
Yeah, I'll move him over to the person with the red shirt on, who is still a human being.
Kneels down next.
Technician Murphy.
Kneels down next to Murphy, puts his hands on Murphy, and goes, "Oh crap! Oh, this is corruption." Throws up a little bit. Oh, I don't know. I can make him comfortable. That's about it.
Well, thank the universal totality. We might just have a miracle on our hands. No, just
wait, you got a quantum kinetic in your pocket?
I will push Grunge.
Yeah.
We're not asking questions at this point, but yes.
What can I do to help? What
Put your
can I
hand.
provide a kinetic?
I need you to put your hands here. He starts just running through like a list of breathing exercises and concentration moments, beats to think about, and basically starts walking you through a process of working in tandem to treat this disease. Basically, of you giving, what he's really asking you to do is funnel your control over the quantum signatures over to him so that he can drive it out of their noetic pattern.
So it's basically combining our powers,
Right.
to okay, yeah. And if it feels like the expenditure of psi points would help him, then I'll start spending psi also.
All right. How much psi would you like to spend?
To heal and fix this one person.
Yeah.
Let's start with 3.
All right. Go ahead and roll your psi plus your highest mode.
While they're doing that, I'll be like looking around and just sort of like start thinking out loud, like, okay, so these pods are causing the corruption. First guess is that we disconnect the pods from the people and the ship, but we need to make sure that we're not going to do more harm in the process. I am not smart in this way.
All right. You had a total of 3 successes with the psi you spent. As you're channeling this energy into him, and he's sort of, you can sense how he's like noetically filtering it. It's really rather fascinating. And you would love to study this at some point when you're not in the middle of a crisis, because it's quite amazing as you see him literally push the corruption up out through the wounds. And as he's doing it, you can sort of sense this person's noetic pattern stitching itself back together. Like cells are reconnecting, things are becoming as they were. And a large report, I guess would be the best way to describe it, as there's a large like sound accompanied by what appears to be about 3 pounds of this ichor shoots out of their face and lands on the floor like, and you see the wounds just close up and they like sigh and pass out.
Good.
Like, kind of gets up, squeezes some crap from their eyes and says, hi, I'm Dr. Wilcox. The patient's going to need to sleep.
You don't appear to have any beds.
Shit.
Yeah, we've got a couple more patients. I don't know how much of this we can.
And then I start going to go cut out the next person when he's sort of like, I have a couple more patients.
He says, whoa, wait.
We need to figure this shit out before we start popping.
Wait, nobody touch anything yet.
I got to at least cut the corrupting organs.
Here's the problem is that they're in the middle of a process right now that if we interrupt it, if we're not careful when we interrupt this process, we're going to do more harm than good by cutting them loose. Now, I don't know about our friend here who's going to have a lot of splaining to do, but I'm going to run out of psi.
Well, how many of them can you save?
Well, theoretically, all of them, but we just have to figure, I need a few minutes to figure out what order. Do we have a few minutes? Can you buy me a few minutes?
I just looked to everyone else.
Can I reach out and see? Oh, I'm sorry.
I looked at everyone else and they asked that question is all I was saying.
Right about that time, you were going to reach out and see what?
That presence that I could feel way out. Mm-hmm. Can I reach out and try to feel it again?
It feels like it's in the ship. At this point...
oh, that's bad.
Kento, the device in your hand says, we're not alone.
Well,
we might not have a few minutes.
Well,
do you know where they are?
Hold on. I will reach out with the sight, which I will note lets me automatically detect Terran level aberrants.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not hard to find. Right as you're locking onto where they're at, the ship also says to you there's a hull breach in docking bay 4, going from deck 7 to 17.
That can't be comfortable. All right, everyone suit up. Let's go by the dock some time.
Is that where I'm docked?
It was.
Yeah. Okay.
We lost all of the ships during the malformed jump, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, as far as you know, as far as you knew, the ships that were safely inside were fine. It's the ships that were attached to the outside that you lost during the jump.
Okay.
Okay.
She says, I can try to drop some blast doors, see if I can slow it down a little bit.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Might also prevent some atmospheric loss.
Are you the acting captain?
I guess I'm acting like a captain, so yes.
I'm gonna have to countermand that. No, I'm sorry.
I think that's right. Well, because when we were messing up earlier, Sokka was telling us what we're doing wrong, so Sokka must be the ranking person here.
The data pad says to you, I'm assuming the rest of you are doing what? Are you running that direction or are you waiting?
Oh yeah, we're bickering on the way, I think.
Yeah.
All right. Are you moving as well, Sokka, or are you staying there?
I'm going with him after a brief delay.
All right. The doctor says, I'm going to figure out what we need to do, and grabs, I'm getting everyone backwards. Not everyone. I'm getting Grunge and Finn
Sokka.
backwards. Grabs Finn. Thank you. Grabs Finn by the shoulder and says, whatever you do, you come back.
Oh yeah. Oh God, I am not trained for that, but we'll do what we can.
No, I lied. Grabs Grunge by the shoulder.
No.
And says, whatever you do, you come back.
For more of what we did before together.
Yeah, they're all dead if you don't come back.
Okay. All right. Important.
Can we take a pause?
Yeah, if you need to take a moment.
Yeah, quick bio break.
Yeah, let's take 5 for bio real quick. All right. Brief bio break has been achievement unlocked. So, as the rest of you are running there and you have answered the ship, Kento. Chicago says, I am in a great deal of pain and detecting a significant portion of corruption. May I initiate self-destruct procedures?
Not yet.
Understood.
However, if you don't hear back from me in an hour, you should do that.
Noted. All right. So you're all running down to the affected airlock areas. When you arrive there, you get probably about 100 meters away from where the actual door to that region is. And there's a blast door closed. And you can already hear like a scritching noise on the other side of that blast door.
I'll check to make sure everyone's environmental suits hoods are up. Vacuum is not your friend.
You sense, those of you who are able to sense what's going on the other side of that door, sense a very large mass. It's probably 15 meters each direction. Biological. Aberrant.
Yeah.
And then you begin to sense hundreds of smaller masses. Those masses start pouring their way into the bulkhead.
I'm counting how many of us there are.
Got any grenades?
What's
Well, possibly. Are there like any kind of like, I'm sure the answer is yes, but I'm just going to clarify. Are there any kind of like electronics I can access nearby? Any kind of just stuff I can use to make things with, I can tear apart to make things with?
Absolutely. There's a ton of, there's computer consoles on the walls that even if they're not functional, they're still.
I'm just going to start breaking down the nearest computer terminal and start building the bomb.
Okay. Excellent. Do you have the demolitions expert?
I sure do.
Excellent.
I have that. I have my technology stuff with a specialty in making weapons. I have level 3 in demolitions training.
Oh, excellent. Beautiful.
And I can assist. Whatever parts you find that almost fit and don't quite fit, I can make them fit.
That's right.
I also have engineer's eye, which I believe helps me destroy important things more easily.
Yes, that is a skill trick that lets you
Yeah.
I mean, I would allow, if you want to spend the momentum, I would allow you to do that to make a bomb more effective. Sure.
Yes, I would like to do that.
Excellent. And I believe that increases the scale by 1, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I like that too.
But let me double check that real quick. And as I'm looking that up, does anybody else have anything that they would like to try to pull off to add to the explosive effect first, I guess? No? Okay. And any other, so let's have Grunge roll your, sorry, I'm fixing my green screen. You can't tell because it's green. Let's have Grunge roll your Psi plus highest mode, spend a point of Psi. Any successes you get, you can use on the enhanced stunt to buff up Chech's action. Sound good?
While they are doing that, I am going to activate the secondary effect of least resistance, which, let's see, mode dots times his duration. Basically, it sets up a save point for us. If things go really bad, I can just say, hey, it was a vision.
Okay.
And then we get to literally rewind time.
And that just requires spend point of Psi.
I spend a Psi and it happens. I'm just looking about how long of a time that is. Right. So with all my various basic, that is essentially a 5-minute long window of
resettable time.
Of oopsie daisy.
Beautiful.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, it doesn't actually rewind time. It just says, in the event that something terrible happens, we can say it was a vision that I had, and then we get to redo it.
Nice. That will come in handy. Yep. And you spend a momentum to increase your scale for 1 action that can damage a vehicle or high-tech device. I will say that this explosion applies in terms of engineer's eye. So the scale will bump up by 1. We got
1 success from me.
1 success from you. Okay. So then for the actual demolition, what are you setting this bomb to do? Are you setting it to just like go off now? Or are you setting it to go off to be remote detonatable? Are you setting it?
I believe in, like, my team can feel free to argue here, but I believe like our primary goal is just to like slow this thing down. We're not going to stop it. So what I want to do is just set it up to maybe be able to detonate on a remote with a remote device that I'll create. And then we'll like leave the area, let this door open. And then when everything comes in here, then we'll set it off.
Okay.
Yeah, basically teleported on the other side of the door.
Yeah, we could do it that way too. Sure. Yes.
Cool.
That works too.
Would you like to rely on science, technology for your? What do you want to rely on? What skill do you want to rely on for actually crafting the?
They're the
bomb?
same skill level for me, but I have a question about how specialties work. So I do have a technology specialty in weaponry, but you said that applies when I use different skills, right? Not technology.
Yes, they're cross compatible, right? So if you use science.
So if I use science, I would get that specialty.
Yep, you get the enhancement from the specialty. Okay, cool. So science, and then whatever attribute you feel is most pertinent. You're looking at 2 enhancement right now between the help from the quantum kinetic and the actual specialty. So you're looking at a total of 4 successes.
Does demolitions training give me enhancement too, or no?
What demolitions training actually does is give you a couple of options when you're building it. So at first level, you suffer no complications from making explosive devices from improvised parts, which is what we're doing basically right now.
Exactly what I'm doing, yeah.
At level 2, you get maximized detonation. So you can choose one of the following things. You either increase the radius of the attack by 1 range band, increase the enhancement provided by the explosive by 1, or decrease the armor rating of any stationary object the bomb is designed to destroy or blow a hole in by 2. So you could just say, let's pump the enhancement of the bomb by 1. So now it'll be 5 because you got 4 successes, right?
Yeah.
And then rapid disarm is the third one. So that really doesn't apply here.
No. Okay. Yeah. Let me bump it up by 1, because if we're teleporting it in, then I don't otherwise I would increase the range band because I could blow up in there. But I think if we're going to teleport, I don't need to do that.
Yeah. So that way, then you'll be dealing with basically 5 enhancement scale 2 explosion going off in this thing's face when it goes off on the other side.
Yeah.
I like the sound of it.
All right. So I guess we're going to teleport. We'll use your teleportation as a targeting rule. Does that sound good to the party?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And then you've got your actual mode, right?
Say again?
You get to roll your mode dice as well.
Oh. Is that not clickable?
No, it's not. Just
the mode isn't. You got to do them manually. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
Well, I'm definitely going to spend a psi point to get the automatic success, and
not much.
never mind. I was going to say that it's my favorite mode, but no, it's not. So, just the 1 success then.
Okay.
Oh wait. This is a rank 1 power, and I have 2 in that, so 2 successes.
Beautiful. Okay. So you pop it just on the other side of the hull. Are you going to back up, or are you just going to hit that explosion where you're standing?
Let's get out of Dodge into the next bulkhead.
Okay. You take off running. As you take off running, you can see behind you, like holes starting to poke in the hull, and these things that look like. I don't know if you can zoom in and see that mass of tentacles and horror that is the token I just laid down. But they basically look like that, come poking through the various holes that are forming in the hull. And as you're making your way to the next bulkhead, I would like each of you to give me an athletics roll, because as this thing is poking holes in the side of the hull, you're starting to feel a pull back towards that open area.
Well, that's not fun.
So athletics and then whatever attribute you feel is best for it. All right. So Checha's good.
I have no dice in athletics.
Uh-oh.
I'm a terrible legionnaire. So let's see what the.
Oh, good.
I'll say let's go with composure. Just ice in the veins.
All right. Good enough.
Yay.
You all dive across, like doing that, like running into the wind shit. And you
Do not
fall.
look at the explosion. Cool guys don't look at explosions.
You fall across as the blast doors slam shut, and like the ship rattles a little bit.
Fucking what?
Yeah. Like
It's a
you
lot
shake.
of mass to move.
Yeah. So let's see. And he takes oh, okay. Those of you who can sense across absolutely can tell that the smaller bodies were all wiped out. You can also absolutely tell this big guy still coming.
Just real quickly, seeing our surroundings, are we anywhere near other docking bays where ships may have been docked inside?
Yeah, no, but if there are still ships in that docking bay, there is like a interior access maintenance tube created by one Dr. Jeffries that you might be able to climb through.
We salute you, Dr. Jeffries.
I was wondering if I was going to have to make the joke or if you had it built in. Nice.
So you can climb over and see if any of the ships are still intact.
But didn't we just blow up anything that was in that docking bay?
Judging by how much of how big that aberrant was and how much it didn't blow him away from the ship, probably not.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's if anything was still in there from when the side got ripped off, it's probably still in there. Might be buried under some rubble, might be some difficulty in getting it out, but there's if any of the ships are in there, they're probably still in there.
Okay.
Like you could all, those of you who can sense over there could tell for sure that the lion's share of that, like that went off in its sternum.
Mhm.
Like it went off mid-mass in this thing. So it ate most of the brunt of that. Do you want to break off from the team and try to climb in a tube?
Where would everyone else go if I decided to go ahead and try to find something with big guns to fire at this thing?
I think we would continue our holding action. If you can get out there and blow it away, then by all means.
The two legionnaires that are with you say, "Sir, may I?"
Depends on what may I means.
The doctor requests you return. "Sir, we would like to volunteer."
Fair enough.
I could help too.
Or did the doctor request that I return?
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you don't make it back, everybody that's in that med bay dies. So if you want to help us, great. Let's go. They walk over and open one of the tubes.
How about if I help make sure they get to some ships or something with big guns and then return to the group?
The one says, "Chech has got us."
I got it.
But
You need to get back. I don't. So let's go.
okay.
All right. Sir, Take off down the tube. The rest of you are all running back to the med bay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pad in your hand, Kento says, I'm itchy.
There are a lot of small things running around eating through your blast doors. We removed some of them, but there are thousands.
I didn't know I could feel that.
It's probably not a pleasant sensation, nor a nice thing for you to learn.
If I self-destruct, I'll cease to be.
That's true. Let's save that for later.
Okay, we have approximately 51 minutes for me to contemplate the existential dread I am suddenly experiencing.
What do you have in the way of fire suppression systems that you could initiate down there?
Where?
Anywhere you feel itchy.
Oh, that's a good idea. So you're all running through.
Mhm.
Checha, you and the two Legionnaires are making your way through the Jeffries tube.
Mhm.
And, oh, no, I'm just calling it that. You're making your way through the tube.
The official name.
And suddenly the flame suppressors come on and foam starts just pouring into the tube.
All right.
Like, is it bad enough to make it unbreathable?
No, it's just annoying. Then it
Okay.
will add a complication of one to any actions that you
All
take
right.
inside.
All right.
Where are you at in the marching order? Are you going to be leading the group, or are you going to be bringing up the rear?
I'm going to bring up the rear because I think that's the most likely position we're going to have problems with if I need to
Excellent.
defend them.
As you're about halfway down the tube, you see one of those tentacle things like fly out and land on Legionnaire 1's face.
Oh, I was wrong.
Now we're going to assume you still have the same weaponry that you had before.
Yeah.
You
It has reach.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
So can I just like sword up there, try and cut it off?
absolutely. Go ahead and give me a just a close combat and whatever you feel is appropriate.
There we go.
Excellent. You reach up, you hit. That has enough enhancement on it that you just slice it. Basically, as soon as you make contact with it, it bursts, leaving that ichor everywhere. There's like a spark of flame on the Legionnaire's face as he melts the ichor away. And he just nods and takes a deep breath and says, thank you.
Keep going. Keep going.
You keep going, and you can sort of hear now, like almost like a squeaking along with the skittering in the walls. Sounds like you're running down a hallway full of mice.
Great.
As you're,
I want to take a brief moment to tell you, out of character,
yes,
James is very claustrophobic.
okay.
So like, I can handle this. I'm not saying anything about that. But like, I'm already like, oh, this is creepy. And then the foam, and now there's like animal sounds all around us, and like it's definitely like, like this doesn't feel good.
I appreciate the heads up. Please feel free to employ an X if you need to.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
So you're making your way down the hall. I'll get back to you momentarily.
Okay.
The rest of you make your way into the med bay. And you see that the doctor has like scalpels stuck in various pods in different places and like string run between a couple of them. And you see he's like, there's like 20 pieces of wadded up paper laying around, and he's just running around frantically, like pushing buttons and screaming. It's just like, shit. It's all right. Best case scenario, half of these people are going to need to be in cryostasis till we get back to Earth.
What's the worst case scenario?
We accidentally kill everyone.
All right. Well, I'm a positive guy.
All right.
So maybe I'm behind on things. Does pulling these people out of whatever these cocoons are, do you think that would disconnect whatever attachment the corruption has on the tester?
There's corruption in the tester.
I thought we already established. Oh, you okay.
Yeah.
We need to bring this down.
Yeah, the pods are feeding two ways, and some into these people and some into the tester itself.
Okay, that changes some things.
Yeah.
We can't get home.
Travis, remind me that the basically the control pod was just completely destroyed. The thing that jumps, that allows the clairsentient to jump the ship, right?
Right.
That's what I figured. All right. I'm gonna.
Whatever happens as far as being able to jump the ship, let's worry about that later. Let's make sure we can be in the ship.
Says, okay, we could theoretically heal the tester.
There we go.
But there's no way we're going to have enough juice if we heal these people right now. You said the actual piloting pod is destroyed?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's the pilot?
Gone.
Okay. Do we either have a teleporter or a clairsentient on board?
We have both.
That's good news. Are either of you willing to attune directly to the tester?
Sure.
I mean, worst case scenario, the biofeedback fries your brain. You forget most of your childhood and get very comfortable with adult diapers. Actually, that's not true. Worst case scenario, we appear in a sun or something like that. But
well, hey, couldn't we do a similar trick
compared to the others?
There's an upper limit on how bad things can get.
Hey, couldn't we do another trick like I did with the Vitakinetic? And when those two connect up with the tester, let me latch in too and see if I can't sort the corruption parts out of the tester in the process.
You want to try to jump it before we clean it?
Oh, well.
No, we should definitely clean it. We can't, if this thing is in corruption, we can't let this get near anywhere human space.
Okay.
Yeah, you two should, I'd say, yeah, I think Saka, you and I can try and attune to the tester and get us somewhere. And Dr. Wilcox, you and Grunge, try and do what you can to fix the ship.
Yeah.
Are we all on board with this? This means I'm going to put these people in cryostasis and just hope for the best.
That's probably the best.
Yeah.
Everyone's okay with this plan?
Yeah.
It's not the best, but we have a giant alien trying to eat the ship, so things are relative.
It is so much worse than an alien.
Okay. All right. New plan. We're going to open these people. They're going to be very, very sad when we do, but he walks over and like moves what looks like a giant bug shell almost out of the way and starts pulling out basically what look like they're very similar to the like remote defibrillators that you'll have like at a gym. He pulls it out, and these are field cryostasis units. They'll only hold them for about 24, maybe 36 hours. But that should be enough time for us to get the jump initiated. And then once we're somewhere that's not the middle of nowhere, put them in actual cryopods. So I guess let's start working on bodies. Are any of you going to help with the actual removal of these people from the actual pods?
I am not the person to attempt to do that, but I will certainly cover everyone while they get to it.
Yeah, me too.
You can teleport them out.
Can you?
I mean, it's basically just
I mean, you did all see Cheche cut one out earlier too.
It's not.
yeah, but I don't want more Icar in here.
I'm sure there's a hand washing station Hiromi.
I'll let you all think on what you want to do next as we get back to what Chech is doing. As you come around to the part of the tube that has an entryway into the docking bay. As you're approaching, you're all already in your environmental suits, but you definitely start to feel like the vacuum pull as you get probably about 100 meters away from the junction point. And when you get there, you can clearly see the holes where these sub-aberrant mutations have chewed through the exterior hull. The two Legionnaires look at you and say, well, you've gotten us to where we got to go. Are you coming with, or are you turning back?
I think I'm going with you.
All right. And the first Legionnaire hits the release. The doors open, and he takes his first step out into the docking bay. You can immediately see there's like 5 fighters and 2 Vargs in there. Vargs are like biomechs. As his first foot lands, you sense a massive life form moving up the docking bay from where you were before in this direction at an alarming rate of speed given its size.
I'm just moved to intervene. I need this guy to get to do what he's here to do. So
all right, you jump out and you see the other. It's tentacles and eyes and jaws. It doesn't adhere to any anatomy you've ever witnessed before. It looks like where the bomb went off, like you can see a little bit of scorching on its hide, like you might experience if you bump into the rack of an oven when you reach in when you're grabbing to get a pizza. Like that level of burn on its mid-mass. And it's just hauling ass at you. You have one action before it arrives. What would you like to do?
I'd like to, with all of my, I don't know, my body weight, I guess, like shove this guy forward as far as I can, like trying to get him out of the way so he can go on to where he's going.
Okay. All right.
So that this thing does not intercept him.
Excellent. Go ahead and let's do, we'll either do close combat or athletics, whatever you feel is better of the two, to represent you sort of pushing. And then whatever attribute you feel is best. So you scoop him up and just fling him at one of the ships. The other Legionnaire like jumps up like over your back and throws up a force field. As that force field goes off, the other brings down one of its tentacles on top of you all. What would you like to do for your defense? You can try to, well, you've taken a full action, so you can basically roll one of your resistance attributes to add to your defense pool. And you do have your armor up still.
Yes, I'll just roll stamina.
Right. Stamina? All right, go for it. Excellent.
That's a terrible roll.
It wasn't great. So as the other brings down this tentacle, it slams through the force field, like shatters the force field the Legionnaire put up. Hits the Legionnaire first because he kind of jumped up in the air. And you see the Legionnaire's head just split, almost more disintegrate to accommodate the width of the tentacle,
right
down to about the middle of his torso where it makes contact with you. You feel the floorboards, like the flooring of the dock that you're effectively standing on now, buckle under the impact as you take one condition of damage, getting rid of the hard armor health level that you had.
Okay.
But it bent it bent down and put you like a foot into the floor.
Yeah, and cracked my shell a bit.
Yes. What would you like to do?
Slice out.
Excellent. So you're just going up as high as you can go? Like,
yeah.
Like, Hadouken!
I assume like it's so big, right? I don't know if I'm going left or right here. I think slicing out's my best option.
Awesome. Go ahead and give me, what would you like to rely on for that?
I guess close combat and strength is probably most appropriate here.
Yeah, so might.
Might? Yes, might.
Yep.
Sorry.
No worries.
Well, it's not a great roll, but I have lots of cool enhancements, so hopefully that helps.
You do. So you've got brutal, deadly,
quality, reach.
quality 3. Yep.
I think that was it.
Let's see how he does on defense. That's enough that you get through his defense and you hit. So you will have enough that you can inflict one injury condition. Okay, yeah. You can inflict one injury condition on him.
I don't know what the injury conditions are, Travis.
So what that basically means is his next injury, his next health level goes out.
Okay.
You heard him.
Okay.
The reason I'm smirking is because I'm going to let you go ahead and notice this because you're up close and personal.
It's pretty bad.
You notice how little that bomb seemed to have affected him.
Uh-huh.
But when you come up with this sharp, pointy object that is your arm,
I have piercing too. I just remembered. Okay, yeah.
It's as if, for some reason, his hide is particularly susceptible to that type of wounding. And you go like into the middle mass and stop about halfway through him, you're pretty sure. So you're currently inside of him.
Oh, great.
Just drag
Good
your
thing I
way
got
out.
this suit on.
Now, I would like to remind you all, you are connected mentally.
Oh, man.
It's up to Checha whether or not he wants to share the current experience.
I don't think he would they would think to stop this.
Oh,
So
that's right,
like,
sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, they're broadcasting the experience right now. You can all sense that they are inside of this aberrant.
Buy a dinner first.
The aberrant starts reaching inside and is going to try to grab you, but it's going to be a complication of 3 because it's basically digging in its own innards. But with its enhancement, it does. Go ahead and I'll let you do, because you haven't acted yet this turn, I'll let you either go full defense, which would be double one of your resistance attributes. So you'd roll stamina twice, or you can try to like do a counter move where it would be like a close combat thing where you're trying to stab it as it's stabbing you, or you're trying to do a reverse to get out of the way, or use its force to pop yourself out. Right, so that would be close combat and whatever you'd prefer, or athletics if you think that would be a better fit.
Let's do this time.
Okay. Not the awesomest, but you do have some enhancement. So that should be enough that you will get out. Oh no, it's got the complication. Yeah, you absolutely get out of the way and do no damage. It does no damage to you, but you are unable to do damage to it.
Okay.
So you're able to basically grab one of the tentacles that's groping inside and like ride it out. So you go spraying blood and innards out into the the dark, cold nothing of space.
My suit got stained
as you pop free, and you immediately look over and you see like just guns lighting up on this Orgatech Stinger that the dude's sitting in. Meanwhile, back at Med Bay, the doctor is not using what you might call surgical precision to open these pods at this point. He's just got
something I can help with.
He's got a bone saw. And he just pulls them out, slaps the pads on, hits the button, and you see like an ice crystal form around the person. He's like, we don't have to be precious about this. Okay. Anybody want to hop in on a medicine or close combat or anything else roll to try to pull somebody out?
Yeah, I definitely want to help because I'm just, I just am. Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
helping out with us all. So.
Yeah, I'm going to teleport someone out.
All right.
All right. 2.
Excellent. You cut someone loose, managed to not cut them in the process. Congratulations. You teleport someone out cleanly. And as you do, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you're teleporting, you can effectively create a filter, right? Excuse me.
Maybe.
Like it doesn't pull. If you teleport a person, it doesn't pull things that aren't part of that person through, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the general?
Anything connected to other objects left behind.
Okay.
Teleporting people free of restraints disease.
Okay, excellent. So as you teleport them out, you see their wounds closing faster than anyone else's has, short of like actually being affected by vitokinesis. So it seems like that might be marginally safer than cutting them loose.
Okay, well then, how many more we got?
There's 5 more by the time you have come to this revelation.
All right, well, I'll try that a few more times.
And I'll stop cutting.
Yeah, when I see that, I look to Grunge and say, like, actually, Grunge, I have an idea. Can you help me out with something?
Yeah.
So I would like to do something a little weird. I'd like to try and combine some of my powers and get a boost from the quantum kinetic Basically, what I want to do is combine my ability from the site to detect and encode focus crystals and attempt to push my powers out to interstellar range to essentially attempt to locate the nearest focal crystal. It's not the one that I'm assuming I got handed just for being a clairsentient, and attempt to basically encode an SOS on it.
Oh, okay.
It will take some rolling and some successes on my part, but I just want to know if that's a viable thing.
I don't see why it wouldn't be. Yeah.
All righty.
If the combination of your psi is enough to reach out to interstellar distance, then
Yeah, I mean, with yeah, if we combine your psi and I get the boost from grunge from the that, then my psi should definitely get out to interstellar distance. I think. Let's see here. It'll be 70 light years is my distance. I am not sure if that means anything or not, but that's my interstellar distance. But I do have to roll to try and make that happen because I don't actually have the power that I'm trying to use.
So it's a +1 complication for each level that you're, or +1 difficulty.
It's a +1 difficulty for each level and up an additional psi level. So I'm going to have spending at baseline 3 psi, and it's a +2 difficulty because I'm trying to do a power 2 levels ahead. So let me mark that off.
Can I spin a psi to help?
You're rolling psi, right?
Yeah, I'm rolling psi.
No, I mean, like, he's rolling psi to go into this to work to help you out. So you can spend psi to get extra successes. Extra successes you can use as the enhancement gift.
Yeah. All right.
So yes, you can.
Yeah. So let's.
So you would also roll psi in mode.
Yeah. Let me do the roll. Since I'm boosted with him, I get your psi as a bonus to straight up to the pool. So I'm just going to roll psi twice since I believe we're both psi 3.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just fantastic.
Want to spend some momentum if it's all right with the group?
Let me roll the rest of my dice. So 1 die from that. And then 2 more dice. And
okay, not bad. So roll those 2 again.
Yay. All right. Okay. So 2 successes. That doesn't hit the difficulty. I will spend another psi to basically get that success, and I'll spend 2 more psi. 1 to get the success for the power, and another to actually to use the ability to encode a message on a focus crystal. So I have just blasted a bunch of psi. So if there is a focus crystal within 70 light years of us, I would like to basically encode sort of a snapshot image of everything that is happening on the ship, as well as locational data for where we are in space, into hopefully a focus crystal somewhere within the next 70 light years, and that will be sent up the chain in some miraculous manner.
Heads or tails?
Tails.
Okay. You send it out and you hope for the best.
Yep, that's what hoping for the best is what I'm best at.
Excellent. Did you make your extra teleportation rolls there, Kenta?
Still have 2 more.
Excellent.
Someone just needs to teleport out. Yeah. Okay. One person doesn't get teleported out, and the rest are fine.
All right. The one that does not get teleported out was just a straight failure, though, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you just are, for whatever reason, corruption interference, you're not able to pierce that. But you do get the other 2 out, and the doc slaps the cryo containers on them. As you all are just burning through an inordinate amount of psi, and at least kicking the, death down the road for these people. Back outside, he lets go with the missile launchers and the laser carbine coil gun. So I'm going to just go ahead and roll the defense. And we'll say one, 2. 2 successes to hit. 4. All right, so he hits with 1, so that's going to be 3. So he lets go with every weapon he's got at this thing, and you see like chunks being blown off, and like a couple tentacles get blown loose, and then you see like where one of the tentacles was blown off, like 2 start to sprout out. What would you like to do, Checha?
You said there was also like these like pilotable like mechs. Is that what you called them?
Yeah, they're called
like
Vargs.
Vargs. Yep. I think Chiche is gonna go break for one of those to try and use that to try and like he knows he's not gonna win this fight. They know they're not gonna win this fight.
Right.
They know that 2 of them they're probably gonna die. The point is to keep it fighting them instead of anyone else. So it doesn't matter. So like that's scary, the fact that it's regrowing, but the point isn't to win. So they're gonna go get in the Varg and keep going at it. Like just
all right. You
over the mental link, because Cheche, you said, you know, you never really stopped broadcasting or anything like that.
Yeah, true.
I'll tell you, look over at the wounds that you caused where you sliced with your blade and everything. Does that grow back like the explosions did?
Does it?
Nope.
Okay. Do I have any kind of connection with this person in the piloting the?
As far as I understood it, it was just you 4 that were connected. Is that correct? Or did you connect
I connected I connected a Legionnaire.
Okay, we're going to assume, because I am a benevolent deity, that it was the Legionnaire whose brains did not get splattered all over the back of your costume. So,
all right. In that case, I mean that, or I don't know if I had a comm link in my suit, but anyway.
I mean, you might have one of those too, but you know.
Sure.
He's so much cooler.
I'll say I'm gonna open up more wounds in this thing, like that last one. Aim for those instead of just everywhere.
Got it.
So I'm not gonna go for the Varg. I'm just gonna
you stop,
jump at
turn
this
around.
thing and blade it again.
All right, let's see what you got.
And there's like a quiet, like mental, like thanks to Grudge.
All right, give it a shot.
You notice how like I don't ever get any successes on my dexterity dice?
No, you're always very close though.
Yeah.
But with your quality, that is enough to get beyond its defense, because you put quality 2 on that stabber. So you go through. That's just enough to get in. So it's enough that you can deal it 1 condition worth of damage.
Okay.
You hit it. It squeals. And it is going to bring down another tentacle on you.
All right. I've already taken my action, so I'm just going to roll stamina. Is that correct? Okay.
That is correct. Oh, it's rolling so terrible.
Well, that time my stamina was okay.
It brings down a tentacle, and you like bring up your arm that's not a blade and like stop it.
Wow.
And one of its eyes kind of locks eyes with you, and one of its mouths comes out and then opens up and another mouth comes out at you.
Just a little bit of like a riff you like.
And the Legionnaire shouts, "I can't do anything. You're still in the way."
Do I have more movement? Like
it's your action now. So what would you like to do?
I move. I want to, I guess, get as far away as possible, but also stay close enough to it where I'd like to take another swipe at it if I can.
You can certainly hit, stick and move. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So go ahead and make your attack check, and you can move a full range band, so you can get basically 30 meters from it.
Okay.
Probably 15 because you don't have zero gravity training on your character, do you?
No, I don't.
Yeah, so probably 15 meters because you're.
I could grow some extra limbs to hold onto the ground. I don't know.
I suppose that's fair. All right, so that time you got a success on your.
Yeah, instead of the close combat.
Instead of the close combat.
I wouldn't mind seeing one on each of those at one point.
Once again, your enhancement saves you, and you get through the armor. It's very fortunate that you chose the tags on that weapon that you did. So you've poked 2 holes in them at this point, and you back up.
Yeah.
Dude, let's go with a healthy barrage of heavy weapons fire. All right, that's 2 to hit. 1 reroll. Let's do a D10, Travis, instead of a D8. How does that sound? All right.
You roll a D, I don't mind.
Let's see how all right. So this just bounces off.
Okay.
It looks like the ship weapons are doing nothing, whereas getting up close and personal is helping.
I'm going to tell him, maybe you get in the Varg.
He goes, got it. Hops off and goes running for the biovarg. Meanwhile, in the med bay, you now have gotten everyone out. Everyone is set up. The doctor looks over at you, Kento, and says, do you need a few minutes, I assume, before we try to attune you to this thing?
I don't think we have the time to wait.
Okay. Well, me and our quantikinetic friend are going to try to clean the Tesser, I guess. The pad says to you, I have about 15 minutes left. Do you want me to try to isolate the corrupt sections long enough for us to attempt to jump?
You can still jump?
Theoretically. I feel sick. I'm not sure where we'll be. But then again, that's not up to me, is it?
I don't know. Let's try and cleanse it, and then maybe you and I together can try and attune to it and try and guide the jump.
I can't jump on my own. They won't let me. I wonder why.
What won't let you?
The makers.
Define makers?
Argotech and the
Yeah.
chin.
Don't we have a bunch of chin on board?
You do. Nobody's checked on them.
All right. If you guys have take care of this situation, I'll go find the kin.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well,
So I'm going to try and search out where the kin are
Okay.
with my psychic senses.
Yeah, I mean, you find them. They're still in their quarters. As near as you can tell, they've put up some sort of a biotech bubble around their living quarters.
Smart. I'm running.
Excellent. You're running that direction.
Yeah.
You're trying to console this pad, Kento? Is that correct? Well,
yes, I'm
console
also
Chicago.
going to attune to it so that I can try and have a bit better rapport.
Okay. How would you like to try to attempt to connect to it? Do you want to make your way to the bridge and try to connect to something there, or do you want to just like try to make a connection? I mean, space is relative.
Probably the bridge. It's not that far, and it's a place that Chicago's used to feeling this kind of connection, I assume.
Okay. You run into the bridge. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't you leave someone on the bridge?
Yep.
Yeah, there was the Orgatech tech there.
Yeah. Yeah, he's still sitting there.
Yeah, he's
Hey, we win?
not yet. We're still alive.
Oh, that's good.
Need a happy pill?
No, I'll be okay. Or do we have a plan?
We have something approaching a plan.
I like approaching plans.
Odds are pretty good that we won't die in the next 10 minutes. So, bonus.
Speak for yourself. What's the plan?
Plan is deal with the aberrants somehow. Talk to the Chin and see if they can take the parking brake off, and then we go someplace. Like, jump somewhere.
Parking brake. Parking brake. Oh. No, it's not designed. We built it so it can't jump on its own. We didn't want it taking off like the Apeo did.
What would it take to remove that restriction, or at least to
10 years of engineering? You got a teleporter handy?
I'm a teleporter.
You better not be lying to me. Don't tell me what I want to hear just because I'm dying.
I just teleported 5 of your friends out of goopy bubbles. They're doing a lot better now.
I don't suppose one of those was a doctor, was it?
We actually cut your doctor friend out. We didn't have time to wait for me to focus to teleport. The doctor's okay.
I'm not.
Yeah, we'll get Doc up here for you.
Great. He pulls the key card out of his pocket.
He fucking forgot he was all fucked up.
Pulls the key card out of his pocket and hands it to you. My quarters are one deck down, about 100 meters port. Inside of them, you'll find a safe. Chicago. The pad says yes. Override security on the safe in my quarters. As you wish. Safe should be open now.
Awesome.
There's a wear in there. It's a warping a sensor unit. Basically, it's a Upeo jump enhancer. It lets you take your teleportation and increase your psi in your highest mode by 3 when you're jumping with it. If you use that and you jump, you should be able to key right into the test without having to attune it.
If it boosts my psi that much, I can just jump the whole ship. I don't want to, though.
Think you could jump me a doctor while you're at it?
Sure.
That'd be nice.
Is Grunge still in the med bay?
As far as I recall, yes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just Psylink over. Our friend, the technician, I gave him a name, didn't I? I don't remember it. Anyway, our friend, the technician, you remember the one that had a metal rod jammed through him?
Yeah.
Still has a metal rod jammed through him, and he would like the doctor.
All right. I'll inform the doctor that we have an impaled patient, which we didn't take the rod out.
Remind me to go over the emergency procedures and prioritization with the Æon Trinity representative when this is all done. He starts walking off. Meanwhile, I'm sorry. So you were running to what section of the ship, Finn?
I was going to try and contact the kin and see if they can help somehow.
Right. So yeah, you get to the biosphere of their chamber. You see one of the guard units standing out front, holding a blaster.
I will kind of flustered and kind of on an instinct, I'll just reach out telepathically and say is everyone okay?
He says, I would prefer verbal contact.
Oh, sorry. Are your people good?
Our people are fine. We are currently working on arranging for astrolocation, and once that is done, sending for a distress signal.
Do you need any help with that?
Do you know our psi coordinates?
No, but I am a clairsentient.
Very well. Sort of, he tips his head back forward and says, the ambassador will see you.
I'll head in.
This sort of almost sphincter-like gate opens and you step inside.
Gross.
Once you're inside, you see the ambassador is just sitting there. Apparently looks like they've got a relatively fresh cup of tea sitting in front of them. Absolute serenity and calm in this room.
Great. So I understand you're trying to send out a distress signal?
Yes, we are working right now to figure out exactly where we are, but Chicago has not been very responsive.
Yeah, it's being corrupted by an aberrant.
Oh, that's dreadful.
Yeah, it is. I tried to send out a signal of my own, but if you have anything that might be more helpful, I'd be happy to lend my sight to the task.
If you can acquire our current location in the subquantum universe, I can reach out to my colleagues at home and have them send a ship.
Sure thing. That should be fairly simple for me to do, right?
It's like astrolocation 1 or something like that, I think. Right?
Yeah, psycholocation 1.
Yeah, psycholocation 1.
Yeah, I've got that. So yeah, I'll close my eyes, feel out the subquantum senses location, and just sort of telepathically offer it to him.
All right. Thank you.
We're working on trying to jump the ship. I think we have a method of doing so.
With an aberrant aboard.
We're working on that too. push comes to shove, we jump into a place that has more guns.
Do you need any assistance?
I'll think over to where Cheche is battling it. We could probably use
See, like Cheche's face, like
yeah. Yeah, we could use some of your guards. I was planning on running that way myself.
he nods, and 4 armed guards come walking out. You see, as one of them walks through the room, you see like pieces of like foliage growing up and like slapping onto his armor and forming a varg around him as he's walking through the room.
Cool. I'll say it looks like up close and personal is better than range. So I don't know if you can configure yourselves for hand to hand, but
The one who just built a varg out of the floor, like holds his hand up and like this predator spike comes out of the end of it.
That is freaking cool. Let's go kick this thing's ass.
You start heading that direction. Cheche, what would you like your defensive action to be this turn?
I think I should keep trying to open up holes in it. So I guess.
So you're just going to
do a full defense.
Stay on stamina. All right.
Yeah. I feel like it's the right choice. I might be wrong, but I've been wrong before. Hence that guy's horrible tentacle in his face.
All right. Go ahead and give me that stamina roll. Ooh. Oh. So you've punched a couple holes in it. The varg is running up, and you see there's like a gun on the arm of it. And as he's running up, he is dragging the gun, like digging it into the floor of the ship. And he pulls it up, and it's just like this sharp, gnarly spike, basically, and runs up and stabs it in the side. And just as you're showered in blood from where he stabbed this gun into the side of the aberrant's mass, one of the tentacles hits you middle mass and deals you a critical wound.
Oh, good.
So you take 2 health levels of damage.
Okay, that breaks into my actual health.
As you look down, you see your suit is shredded.
Oh.
But that's being in space is not much of a concern for you. You're biokinetic. You're fine. You'll be all right. More concerning is the hole that's in your torso, and the flesh undulating around the outside of this thing as you see more of those tentacled monsters start to pop out of its flesh, realizing for the first time that these aren't additional aberrants this has brought with it. It's birthing them. And I think that's where we'll wrap things up for this week.
Well,
Aberrants are gross, man. They're real gross.
Any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns about tonight's stream?
I have a lot of concerns.
Yeah, no, it's overall very concerning.
Is everybody having a good time? Are we getting everything that was promised? Did you get the... if there's any point where I'm dialing the knobs a little too gross or a little too far in a direction, let me know.
It's great. It's nasty. I love it. The session has been very filthy.
Yeah, it's been filthy, but it's always darkest before the dawn, they say, I guess, right, or whatever. You've got now 2 distress calls out, so and you've got a warper who's about to wind up with the ability to literally move the ship. So you have gone from 0 options at the beginning of the game to several options. If you've got just a few minutes, I know we're bumping up against your heart out. Do you have time to do aspirations? Okay.
Yeah.
Just real quick, did anyone complete any aspirations?
I mean, we did roll up against the Aberrant. I don't know if I specifically tussled with it, but I was a part of the maneuver to blow the thing up.
Yeah, I'll allow it. Sure, unless you feel that you want that in the face tussle with the Aberrant, in which case I can make sure we arrange that for next session.
Kind of want the XP more.
That's fair. I'll allow it.
All right.
How about you, James? Any aspirations?
Well, I have the one to cause necessary chaos, which I feel like arguably by breaking down a computer system and bombing this thing, and hence part of the ship, maybe we could consider that causing some necessary chaos.
Yeah, like that whole thing drastically changed the battlefield and the way that scene was going to go. That scene was very much designed to be like you all backing up in terror while these little minions popped through and you got sort of a slow introduction to what was happening, where instead you were just like, nah. Which I love, by the way. I'm very, I will say that there were no small amount of curveballs thrown my direction this session, and I loved every one of them. So yeah, let's go ahead and give you that aspiration. Any other aspirations that you might have completed?
Okay, do more than one?
Yeah, if you completed more than one, then absolutely.
I think I saved that guy's life when I shoved him forward when the tentacle was coming down. I know the other guy died, but
100%. You also did save, for what it's worth, you saved the life of the person who was in that pod too.
Oh yeah,
so yeah. I would allow that absolutely. So you can go ahead and take 2 completed short terms. Did you have a second short term that you completed, Scott?
No, I did not.
Okay. And did you have any short terms that you completed, Hiromi?
I don't think so. I mean, I didn't have become captain of fucking Leviathan. Like, after achieving my aspiration from last time around, I added the new one of establish or obviate backstory, and like being the captain of the ship kind of makes my backstory unnecessary, but I think that doesn't count.
In what sense? I mean, I think that I would make the argument, and everyone can feel free to tell me if this is me being too kind, but I would make the argument that because you convinced the ship that you were the acting captain, that A, played into the existing deception that you were already running with them, that you had some level of authority over them, and B, being just kind of a clutch move. I would say that would fit the backstory situation because you're establishing one at least to someone. It might not be with the group, but you've got the Chicago convinced that you are the acting captain. Does that fit what you were aiming for, or?
I guess. I mean, I guess at this point, no one actually gives a shit that I just like popped onto this ship.
There's so much bigger issues to deal with
Chet just
right now.
Convinced that you're in charge.
Like, I've got the data pad. I'm talking to the ship.
That's
got a first name basis between me and the ship.
Finn has a very strong like post-it note on it of like things to deal with later, like a few levels underneath a goddamn GD quantum kinetic. That's like. But hey, we'll deal with that when we're not in mortal danger.
I have a feeling that there will be some pardons and forgiveness if everybody makes it back to Earth space without an aberrant on the ship.
Yeah,
in one piece. So I'm going to go ahead and say that let's give it out. And okay. Sebastian, did you have any short-term aspirations that you achieved?
I may have come close to the thing with Finn. Maybe, I don't know. As far as being trusted a little bit more or accepted, maybe. Only in the fact that, nobody jumped on me when I said, yeah, sure, I'll help the doctor.
I mean, that's true. You seem to be winning them over. I would say that that's a process that's ongoing, but Finn can correct me if I'm wrong. But I think
it is like that. He has not like he wouldn't be surprised by a betrayal, but he's not like counting on it at the moment. So okay. Whatever level of trust you want to assign that.
I mean, that is more than you had last session, so I'd
Yeah,
be willing
absolutely.
to give you the.
I call
the
that a
more.
victory.
Yeah.
All right, so then that also means that everyone gets an additional experience point because all players achieved at least one short-term aspiration this session. No long terms were achieved. You did spend half the momentum in a single scene, so you can all get a point for that. And you reached a story milestone. You have discovered the true threat, and the true threat is the other. I hope you've enjoyed their presentation so far.
Ooh.
Yes.
And so there's your XP for the day. I look forward to next session. Let's go ahead. We were in such a hurry to get started today. We skipped our intros. So let's go ahead and do our outros. Let's just start things off with Grunge. Why don't you go ahead and tell us who you are, what you do, who you're playing, your pronouns, their pronouns, where we can find you online, and then pass it on to the next person so we can get these out of the way.
My name is Sebastian Freeman, he, him, playing Grunge, the shady pilot, also a he, him. Sorry. Most of the time you can find me working on little projects in the Storyteller's Vault for World of Darkness games, but coming very soon, I'm coming into the Storypath Nexus to start writing some fun community content for the different Trinity games.
Definitely be sure to check that out when it drops. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you do.
Yeah, first draft is done. So there we go. Hiromi.
Hi, I'm Hiromi Kota. I am the line developer for Scion, as well as writer and developer for tons of other books, some of which aren't role-playing games. I mean, like, most of them are. But when I do other stuff, I'm playing Kento. Sorry, I'm they, them. Kento is also they, them, although sometimes she, her.
And currently going by another name, but
currently going by Saka Beifong.
Nothing confusing about that to the audience whatsoever. Hiromi is only playing one character.
For now. You can find me on Twitter and most of the social things as just my name at Hiromi Kota. I also have a website, hitomikota.com, that I need to update because I think I've had another 5 books published since I last updated it, which I've put out a lot of books this year.
And a little busy.
James.
Hi, my name is James Sombrano. I also write on a million different books. I think I mentioned in the last session, the one that should be blowing up right now when this comes out is Apocalyptic Record. I think roughly, we're guessing, right?
Roughly.
We'll see. We'll see when it comes out. Actually, I just noticed on the Monday meeting notes that the Philodox section was stuff I wrote, and that was really exciting.
Nice.
Yeah. And my pronouns are he and they, and I've been playing Cheche, the chaotic Norsa agent, who is honestly every pronoun, but emphasizing they. And you can find me on social media under JF Sombrano or specifically on Twitter under JF High.
Rock and roll. And I believe that leaves us with Scott.
Hi, my name is Scott Cuban. My pronouns are he, him. I'm playing Lieutenant Finn Wukon, also he, him, the clairsentient who's working with the Legions. I run Simulacra Studios. It's an actual play studio. You can find us on Twitch and on YouTube at Simulacra TV. I am also the co-host of the Polyhedron RPG Discussion Podcast, and you can find me on Twitter at Simulacra RPGs.
Oh, I guess that leaves me. I'm Travis Legge. He, him, or the singular they, they're all fine with me. When I'm not doing this, I'm writing games, developing games, running games over at Plastic Age Plays on Twitch. And I believe the big thing that should be by now, I hope, or I'm going to be really embarrassed, is that we've returned over on the Onyx Path channel, actually, for season 2 of Scarred Lands, Sins of Shelzar. We will be playing through Dead Man's Rust. It's happening on the 1st, 3rd, and 5th Wednesday of each month. So definitely tune in over there. It is a ridiculously fun Scarred Lands campaign. If the Dungeons and the Dragons are your thing, or you just like extremely heavy metal settings, come check out Sins of Shelzar. I can be found anywhere on the internet at Travis Legge, like you see under my face. And I just want to remind everyone to please be sure to wear a mask, wash your hands, socially distance, do everything you can to slow the effects of this horrific pandemic so we can all, get back to being healthy.
Please get vaccinated.
In the meantime, take care of yourselves and each other.